What's going on, guys? It's Rylan with Rylan's Amazing Photography, and welcome to today's video where I'm teaching you guys how to keep your pictures from being blurry. However, before we get into the video, I want to remind you guys to go down below and like today's video. While you're down there, you might as well go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I mean, you don't have to, but I would really enjoy you to, and it would make me happy, you know. So let's get into today's video on how you can stop your pictures from being blurry. The subject I'm shooting is pretty simple. It's just this old tree. But it's a good subject to shoot to give you guys an example. So now that you guys know what kind of subject I'm practicing on, I'm going to tell you the first reason that your picture could be blurry. And that's your shutter speed. For this image, my shutter speed was on 1/30th of a second. And well, as you can see on your screen, the picture is really blurry, and yeah, it looks really bad, and it's not a very nice image, obviously. So there is a way to fix this, and don't worry, I'm here to tell you. And that is to raise your shutter speed, make that number higher. I shot that shot at 1/30th of a second, so I'm going to move it up a stop, which is typically 3 movements on your camera's mode dial. 1, 2, 3. I'm now at 1/60th of a second, which is much faster than 1/30th. So I'm going to take another picture. As you can see, this picture is much less blurry, and you can kind of tell what the picture is of. And yeah, it looks a lot better than the last one. A second reason that your photos could be blurry is, well, camera movement. Whether it be intentional or unintentional, your camera shake could ruin your entire photo or picture or portrait. All those are the same thing though. I mean, you get the point. So I'm going to take a shot with the shutter speed of 2/50th and my aperture at 4.5, and let's look at it. However, I'm going to be moving my camera really fast. As you can see, blurry camera movement. Yeah, it can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. It depends on if you're using it for your advantage or your disadvantage. But either way, there is a way to fix this. And the way to fix this is to hold your camera steady. Let's take another shot. As you can tell, that picture looks much cleaner, and you can totally tell what we're looking at. Sometimes you're going to be in a situation where it's more difficult to hold your camera steady, or you might have shaky hands like I do, and it's really difficult for you to hold your camera steady. Well, there's a solution for this. And that, my friends, is this handy tool. It's a tripod, and this tripod has saved me more times than I can count. Especially if you want a low shutter speed shot. For example, a creek of water. Actually, you can click the video right here where I have a video on creek photography. So I would love for you guys to go check that video out after this video. But this tripod is also going to help you remove a lot of camera shake. I personally use a Bonphoto B690A, and I have a Neewer ball head with it. So let's take my camera off my neck and let's mount it onto this tripod. And you're going to get zero, and I mean zero, none, nada, camera shake. So let's adjust my camera to look at the tree. I'm going to tighten the ball head so there's zero movement. I'm going to snap an image. And the image looks absolutely fantastic. There's zero camera shake, and you can really tell it. So having a tripod is probably what I would consider the most handy tool for all of photography. Here's also another video of the most important gear that I think every photographer should have. So make sure to go check out that video as well after this one. Another reason that your picture could be blurry is that your subject is moving extremely fast. Of course, this still has some to do with shutter speed, and there's really no way of me to test this out with a tree because obviously a tree isn't moving very fast. But I can tell you a solution to this. When you're shooting moving objects, I recommend having at least a shutter speed of 1/200th of a second, preferably higher, like 1/500th or even up to 1,1250. It's really your own personal preference, and it depends on more of the lighting as well. If you're shooting in, for example, a dark sports arena, there's no way that you're going to be able to get up to 12/50th of a second. You're going to have to shoot more around 1/60th, and I hate shooting moving subjects with that slow of a shutter speed. I prefer at least, and I'm saying at least, 1/200th of a second. And that's how you can fix that if you're curious as far as sports photography or wildlife photography goes. There's a cheetah, you're going to need like 12/50ths of a second, if not more. So it really just depends on what you're shooting and what's moving. If I'm shooting a swallowtail bird that's flying and swooping down, first off, your autofocus system needs to be extremely well, and that could be the problem. The subject could be out of focus. But it could also be that your shutter speed's just way too low for the object and it's going to look completely blurry, which kind of relates back to my first point, but not really, because I'm talking about moving subjects when the last subject would be like a portrait standing still and the subject's still blurry. So a quick recap of our points. The first point that I discussed was too low of a shutter speed. Make sure that you keep your shutter speed raised and don't get it too low, because with the slight bit of movement on your camera with a low shutter speed can completely ruin an entire image. The second reason I discussed is camera shake, whether it be intentional or unintentional. When you're shooting your camera can shake and it can cause the entire image to be blurry. One way to fix this is to make sure that you're holding your camera a lot more steady than what you are and be in a more steady position. Another great way to fix this is to use a tripod and mount your camera on a tripod. My last and final reason that I discussed was if your subject is moving, make sure that your shutter speed isn't too low for a moving subject. Like I said, that kind of relates back to the first point, but in the first point the subject wasn't moving. So like I said, I prefer at least to shoot 1/200th of a second for a subject that's moving, preferably higher than that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I'm out in the field. It's not a super exciting out in the field video, but sometimes you just have to deal with what you got to deal with. And sometimes you got to cover the basics. If this video helped you, or if you enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below and like today's video. While you're down there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because you definitely want to see more of me and more videos just like this. I hope it helped. If it didn't and you have another additional question, you can email me at Ryland's Amazing Photography. You can DM me on Instagram. Also follow me on Instagram at Ryland's Amazing Photography. You can also, leave a comment down below and tell me what your problem is. I'll try to get back to it like I do all of my comments. So share this video with a friend as well. Tell them that I am such a great YouTuber and that you want to come and watch, and that they need to come and watch some of my videos. Not that they want to, they need to. So like I said, thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And you guys are amazing, and I hope you guys have an amazing day.